Furthermore, he's utilizing music and diversion to traffic tutored by Clyde Davis. Now an allegedly purportedly Diddy got kneeling down for Clive Davis in 1994. I'm here to say that sexual openness does exist. And for me, I went to it after my second marriage fizzled. And I dated ladies, and I dated a couple of men. And I cut off up in a friendship with a man, Panther or Spill, some new tea on claims about Diddy being a dealer. And she guarantees that Diddy figured out how to do it from his guide Clive Davis. So you all know that Diddy settled his claim with Cassie after she sued him for DVSA and dealing anyway. This isn't the finish of legitimate difficulty for Diddy and two additional supposed casualties. Pay forward blaming Diddy for so word on the road is that there are a lot more ladies and men who were purportedly disregarded by Diddy yet. It's not only Diddy, as per Puma Wright, the music business is brimming with influential men who utilize their situation to traffic and say youngsters. And one of them is supposedly Clive Davis, quite possibly of the most remarkable figure in the recording business, who assisted Diddy with beginning terrible kid amusement. So what truly occurred among Clive and Diddy? And is Diddy's relationship with Clive the explanation his supposed wrongdoings were never completely examined? We should get into it. I genuinely believe he's simply an outrageous egotist who loves influence. He cherishes the capacity to control individuals. Why? Undoubtedly in light of the fact that he was exploited by his coach. So it seems to be Cassie's claim against Diddy was only the start. And in only multi-week since Diddy settled with Cassie, additional upsetting claims surfaced about him. And saying ladies, one affirmed casualty who distinguished herself as Liz Dickerson Neal recorded a common suit against Diddy in New York High Court. And she's requesting a preliminary by jury. She guarantees that back in 1991, she consented to go on a supper date with Diddy. And during their date, he spiked her beverage, bringing about her being in an actual state where she couldn't freely stand or stroll, as per Neal. Diddy drove her to a spot he was remaining at and continued to sigh her. And on the grounds that she was affected by the substance, Diddy supposedly sneaked through her beverage. Neal asserted she missing the mark on actual capacity or intellectual ability to fight brushes off. She likewise charges that Diddy recorded the paper and days after the fact a male companion told her that he saw the video and that Diddy showed it to everybody as per the suit. Neal promptly recorded police reports in New York and New Jersey and addressed a few investigators expecting to squeeze charges. Anyway, they told her claims, which should be validated. Meanwhile, a third affirmed casualty recorded a common suit asserting that Diddy and vocalist Aaron Lavie alternated trying her back in the mid-90s. The one who decided to remain unknown guaranteed. She went to an all-nighter at Aaron Corridor's loft. When Diddy went after her, the claim expresses that after Combs wrapped up doing his business, Jane Doe laid in bed stunned and damaged. As she was currently getting dressed, Corridor burst into the room, nailed her down, and constrained Jane Doe to have with him. In the meantime, unsubstantiated reports likewise began flowing with additional casualties that will approach sooner rather than later, both male and female. As per a few sources, Diddy purportedly attempted a portion of the male sword laborers that he paid to take part with Cassie in constrained freak-offs. Diddy's guardian, Joan Bargan, additionally affirmed in another meeting that Diddy employed those male laborers for him. And he likewise expressed that throughout the long term, Diddy had many experiences with men at Turkish showers. He didn't maintain that it should return to him. In a manner you realize he recruiting individuals, he going to put everything on her, 'cause she understood what he preferred, 'cause she wasn't recruiting it. For her don't get that effed up workmanship. In the event that you imagine that she was recruiting those male whores for herself, now sit tight beyond Turkish showers for him. You understand what they do in the Turkish showers. That is where a ton of gay men meet. And they all wash up together 2 times, some of the time 3 times each week. And the driver be outside, he'll run into the Turkish shower. Now Diddy's sexuality to the side, that is not the part we really want to zero in on. It's the way that Diddy has been purportedly trying and dealing ladies and individuals for a really long time. And as per Panther Wright, the main explanation he's pulled off it is a direct result of his associations with other claimed dealers in the business, like Clive Davis. In her meeting with Storm Monroe Puma, guaranteed the Diddy could have been prepped and tried by his late tutor Uptown Records pioneer, Andra Har, who thusly was prepped by his guide Clive Davis Puma said that Diddy involves his situation in the business to traffic all kinds of people, and he purportedly gained everything from Ander and Clive. My concentrate right presently is seen comes Oak explain to us. Why explain to us? Why since he's a dealer? And he's utilizing music and diversion to traffic. Currently is, this will be this fair young men, young ladies grown-up skied. From what I've heard from sources that I would consider dependable, it truly doesn't make any difference. Wow. I don't think sexuality is something that has a say in orientation as of now for an I. I genuinely believe he's an outrageous egomaniac who loves influence. He adores the capacity to control individuals. Why, in all probability, since he was missiled by his tutor, who loved to control individuals, and his tutor was Andrewell. Let us know how was he tutor by Clyde Davis Puma, brought up that Andrew Harold terminated Diddy from Uptown. Heaps in 1993, and inside only 14 days, Diddy sent off his own name, Terrible Kid, rapidly marvelous Uptown. Back in 2019, Diddy shared his recognition for Clive, saying, Clive Davis and Arista Records gave me an opportunity when I was beginning Terrible Kid diversion. He was one of the principal business leaders to truly trust in me. I'm everlastingly thankful for him. Presently, as per Puma, the main explanation did. He had the option to fabricate the Terrible Kid realm so rapidly is on the grounds that he offered a few courtesies to C. Andrew. That disregarded, like, how would you go from being the leader of Uptown and losing your whole organization to your assistant, like little guy, began as an understudy Panther. Additionally proposed that Clive assisted Diddy with concealing his 1991 city school occurrence, when 9 youngsters were killed during a rush at a cause ball game. That did he arrange the casualties included kids and one pregnant lady, the sweetheart of rapper Father MC, who was endorsed to Uptown Record. And he got brilliant. And he paid attention to each of his counselors, for the most part Clive Davis. And he won, like, not entirely settled to win, like no one realized that he's still up in the air. To win like that entire thing with Father MC, he covered that thing genuine quick. And he didn't have legitimate security, he didn't have appropriate licenses. And there was a rush and Father MC's lady got stomped on to death. And how approaches concealing something to that effect? Well, obviously you pay individuals from everything. I've been said to Diddy rejected obligation for this misfortune anyway. As per various sources, the occasion was overbooked, and Diddy wouldn't pay attention to his security when they cautioned him somebody could kick the bucket. Now concerning Clive Davis and Diddy, as per one visually impaired thing, the explanation Clive assisted Diddy with featuring Terrible Kid is on the grounds that Diddy supposedly assumed Andrew Harold's position as Clive's Don Juan. So Clive Davis is over Arista, which is over Diddy's awful kid record. Presently, allegedly, supposedly Diddy got kneeling down for CLI Davis in 1994. And that is the way awful kid records came about. Diddy and CLI share a ton in like manner. Not just have they fade claims about trying and dealing young fellows and ladies, yet in addition, many individuals who worked with them wound up biting the dust under puzzling conditions for Clive's situation. There's a well-established trick that he had something to do with Whitney Houston's demise. On February 11, 2012, Whitney was found dead in her bath at the Beverly Hilton lodging, where Clyde was setting up his Pregram's party. When Clyde was told that Whitney passed on, he chose to proceed with the party, a choice that raised a ton of eyebrows, since individuals couldn't comprehend how Clive and every one of these other CBS could party, while Whitney's dead body was higher up, And yes, Diddy likewise celebrated the night Whitney kicked the bucket as a matter of fact, as per this article from Amusement Week by Week. Diddy was hospitalized for an extreme headache that he created in the wake of getting back from the post-Grammy party he facilitated at the Playboy Mansion. Presently returning to tales about Clive and Diddy's relationship, we realize that Clive emerged as sexually unbiased in 2013